We're hearing about it all the time in the news. There's very good sort of press. There's some worried people out there that think we might be taken over. As Professor Foskett mentioned, we are in a people-based industry, which is very, very important, that interaction from one person to the other. What are your views on how AI might affect these guys going forward into their careers within the hospitality industry? What do you think your vision is of the future? What is your vision for the future?
Thank you. Firstly, I don't think we should be afraid of it. A lot of people are worried about robots taking over our jobs in kitchens and front of house. That's not the case, and I think we need to embrace technology and AI, and the customers will dictate whether they want to be served by people or to be robotic serving as part of that process. And some of you may have seen some of the robots that deliver your room service to your rooms and as part of that. And it's just about, we need to think more about how you need to, if you don't embrace it, you'll get left behind. In the hospitality sector, you've got to embrace technology. And this is something that's, really important, both front of house, from a room's point of view, from kitchen's point of view, and there's many things that can really sort of branch out and really sort of help you and support you as a business as part of that, and enhance your customer experience as well.
Thanks, John. So let's break it down. In the restaurant, I imagine there might be a time and a place where it might be quite convenient, even funny, to be served by a robotic machine. But then again, maybe in other circumstances, that might not be so desirable. What are your views on how a business should approach that sort of service?
I think in restaurants there's an element of novelty. I was in a restaurant in Vienna, and I got served by this roller coaster, was the name of the restaurant. And you placed your order, and your order got delivered on a roller coaster in front of you at the table, and you accepted your order. It was quite entertaining. The service staff were quite miserable, probably that's the reason why, but it was quite entertaining to see that. But I think in restaurants, there is going to be some technology. I think more in hotels, I think where you're looking at enhancing customer experience, translations as part of that, and making, multiple international guests, and be able to translate to them easily. I think about customer understanding customer preferences, and be able to, AI can then recommend suitable things that a customer would like if they like something. I think that can be used quite well. I think there is definitely going to be a demand for that customer to have a personal experience. So I don't think that's going to go away. I just think AI is going to enhance that a little bit more. And then, really from a kitchen point of view, a lot of AI is happening around cooking techniques and processes. There's AI in waste, where you put things into a bin and it reads what you've just put into the bin and starts to track and record your waste, which anything that tracks and records and reduces food waste is a good thing, and be able to manage and monitor that. But there's other AI within sort of cooking as part of that process that can do some levels of automation. I think there will always be a need for chefs. There will always be a need for service people, and there would always be a need for a personal touch. But there is a need to automate, assist, and support the hospitality industry, and we should not be scared of it. We should embrace it as part of that whole process.
Thanks, John. Just something you touched upon there. I hope everybody saw the interview, the welcome interview with our competitor from Italy yesterday. Did you all see that? No. I know some people did because they showed it to me. But basically, the Italian competitor was interviewed by one of the IHM students using Google Conversations. So the student spoke into the phone, basically asking a series of questions, and the phone picked up the question and translated it perfectly into Italian. The Italian was read out through the phone, and then the competitor answered the question back in Italian, and it read it out into English. And that's, I guess, a free piece of software that Google supply. But Okay, if we take it out of the restaurant, how do you think things like room service, how could AI be used in accommodation services, do you think?
I think in accommodation is probably where it's going to be most useful in rooms and be able to pick up and place orders within your rooms through AI as part of that, and electronic door tagging and be able to sort of understand what the guests are as part of that process. That's been going on for a while as you sort of build that out. And there's also guest preferences. We're in the hospitality industry, and what we need to do is exceed guest expectations, and be able to do that. Sometimes AI can support that, and it can look at guest preferences and make recommendations for other things that they may be interested in, and that can work in room service, in rooms, as part of that process, and you understand a pattern of what the customer orders, and you can make recommendations through that, through the television or through AI. So I think it's all about the enhancement of customer experience and not a detriment of that. And there's going to be, there's business travelers that want to come in and they want to get in. I want to be served. I've got loads of business to do. I don't really want to speak to anybody. I need a club sandwich and a Diet Coke, and I need it now, and be able to do that. And if it's served by a robot, doesn't matter, because I've got to need to get on with that. But if you want that personal level of service, you can have that as well. So you've got to keep both. Because people still like to speak to people, which is great. But I think there's some great enhancements, particularly in rooms division and room service and all those areas as well. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So my last question: the hospitality area is a business. We need to make some money. It's you've got to be financially viable to survive. And I guess AI might be a really valuable tool in terms of monitoring costs and even monitoring weather and other things that might affect costs. How do you think that might impact even your own business, looking at kitchen cut and kitchen management and projecting forecasts and that type of thing?
Yeah, that's a really, we're just looking at, with our technology, looking at using AI to support that. And it's about then looking at giving you recommendations of what you need to do and what you need to sell and what you need to encourage on those sales as part of that process. So it's not just about, I'm going to write a menu, I'm going to cost that menu, I'm going to serve that menu. What it's then doing is actually saying which dishes should you encourage more sales on through automated menu engineering. And that makes it really quite interesting when you actually, from a business point of view, is where I've done this manually in the past, is you can go into businesses and change nothing, but just move things around into menu psychology, sell the dishes you want to sell more of, and part of that, you just make more profit. And when you apply AI to that, it automates that entire process, so you don't have to do that manual process, and it just makes you more profitable doing the same as what you're doing at the moment, and just makes you sharper as an individual business. And making more money is really important at the moment, and driving that profit to the bottom line. It's great that we're cooking great food, but if you can't make money as a chef, you're a cook, in my mind. So you've got to understand the business levels of running a business, and that is about making a profitable business, and AI can definitely support you doing that.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, John, for your contribution. Thank you to John Wood, Chef John Wood. Thank you.